pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, welcome to tonight's meeting of Zoning Board of Appeals, Town of Brunswick. We'll review the draft minutes of our previous meeting held in December. And I would make a motion to approve the draft minutes with a member second. I'll second. Thanks, Patricia. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved without amendment. We'll review the agenda as posted on the town website. We have two new items of new business. First being 1 Diana Lane. And in zoning district R15, we're seeking 2 area variances of front setback ×2 because they're on a corner. The second application is 235 Town Office Road in zoning district R25, also seeking 2 area variances, one being a size allowance and the second being for the placement of accessory structure in front of primary structure. So we'll go into that then. And I'll ask the people from 1 Diana Lane if you want to come up. Introduce yourselves, tell us what you want to do, give us a kind of overview of your project, and we'll go from there.
I'm Nicole Meisner.
I'm Jeff. I'm William Meisner.
We are asking for a variance because we'd like to install an in-ground pool. And given the location of our septic system and given the terrain in our backyard, and our yard is fenced in, and we already had a pool there, above ground pool, but we'd like an in-ground pool. And because we are a corner lot, we have to meet the setbacks for two setbacks. So we were
2 fronts.
asking- 2 fronts, that's it, fronts. So that's what we're asking to put the pool, as you can see in the diagram, where we'd like to put the pool.
So they're not in compliance of their setbacks currently, are they?
Don't know, pool's not there.
Well, I'm not.
For the residents?
Oh, okay, so if I'm looking at this picture, then they're asking for setback from this road
Correct.
and this road.
The pool's not there.
Okay. all right, 'cause I
That
was
is
just-
kind of some trickery that I did.
Right.
Okay,
yeah, I
yeah, because of the odd shaped lagoon style, I really couldn't figure out a
'cause you-
logical way of doing it except for doing it that way. But yes, there are. The one setback from the state highway, actually, the line is ahead of the fence, but along Diana Lane, it's pretty darn close to exactly where the fence is.
So I just didn't understand there's these other measurements from Diana Lane
Yeah,
here,
because,
back
the-
96 and then here to there.
Yep, the setbacks, when we fill out the form, you have to fill out all four.
Oh, okay, all right, so this is where they're asking.
Yep.
From from Route 2, Brunswick Road, and from Diana Lane.
And you said your yard is fenced in.
Yes, our yard is
Already.
fenced in. Yeah. And our septic system runs from the left side of our house to the front. So that's why our septic system is over here, which is why it's.
And the yard slopes off down.
Okay.
Steadily, which
So you have the driveway
was the
there.
problem if we were to put the pool, even if we were to put the pool down lower in the yard, we still wouldn't meet the variance, I think, with Route 2, so.
Right. Right.
But the yard is raised too, it's the picture's deceiving, it's
Like,
Kinda
you
like a
don't
rock.
see the topography of the.
Right.
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 you wouldn't even know it's there. Because the yard is so raised.
You know, I want to thank the building department and the applicants. It's a very well put together application. Appreciate the diagrams and all the information.
It was these guys that told me there's another pool out there that's the same thing.
Right.
You did a good job, John.
It looks like it's
Pretty good
there,
with
doesn't it?
Microsoft Paint.
I know, looks like it's there already. This is
Microsoft
very
Paint,
visual.
pretty good.
Right, you're like, oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I thought I was good with that
We
stuff.
use
And
the
if you
paint
need
by
it,
numbers.
I don't know if you need one without the pool, we do have a diagram.
I included that to them.
Okay. Yes, okay.
Yeah, so going forward, in February, we'll have a public hearing.
Okay.
So what that involves is your neighbors 300 feet from the project site will be notified of your proposal. And then they'll have an opportunity to attend the meeting in February to speak for or against it. And at that time, the zoning board members will ask any questions. We'll have between now and then, we'll have the opportunity to read more thoroughly your application, come up with any questions.
Sure.
You'll have the chance to answer them. We'll have a public hearing, and then you deliberate and then act on the application. So that'll happen in February. I don't have the date
27th.
because usually we meet the third Monday of every month but that's a holiday as well as.
Yep,
so-
the 20th is President's Day, so
Okay, so the
Will be-
27th, and it'll be at 6 PM.
Okay.
And if you have any questions between now and then, just direct it to the building department, Chuck will help you out with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, yeah, and would you give us permission to visit the site? That way we
Absolutely.
can gain some
Oh, yeah.
firsthand information.
Yeah, it's covered in snow right now, but absolutely come on down.
Okay.
Tree branches all over the
Oh,
place.
yeah.
Right, you're good. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay,
I'll see you in
great.
February.
All right, thank you.
And then next up, we have David Wheeler for 235 Town Office Road. If you'd like to come up and kind of explain to us your project, give us an overview or summary of what you would like to do.
Well, members of the board, my name is Dave Wheeler, I live at 235 Town Office Road, which is just down the street here. It's a long driveway. The house sits back towards the back of the lot. Basically, we're just seeking approval to build a storage building. When we built back in 2015, I think it was, we put the house back off the road, kind of as far as we could. And then next to the house, we just wanted to build a 40 by 60 storage building, just to get things out of the weather, tractor, vehicles, etc. On the diagrams you have in front of you, the area variance with regard to no closer to the road than the structure. I figure it's about 20 feet. It might be a little bit less based on final determination, but what it had to do with this topography of the land. It was kind of the flattest area. We also have wetlands on the property, which are quite a ways away, but would prevent locating it with regard to no closer to the road. The other is the size. We're seeking relief from, I think it was 1,500 square feet. The proposal is 2,400 square feet. As far as, I'm sure you're all familiar with the road, there are a number of accessory structures, barns, and detached buildings, et cetera, so it's not out of character. It also really isn't visible from the road. You know, maybe in the wintertime, you might be able to see it with the leaves off, but generally speaking, it's about 700 feet off the road, 600 or 700 feet off the road. So.
I never looked, Dave, but I don't think I can see your house from the road in the winter.
Yeah, you really gotta look. You know, at nighttime with the lights on, you can tell something's back there.
I think it's this. Is the, I'm sorry, go ahead. I think we're gonna ask the same question.
Yes.
So both the plans there, you got the septic, and then you have the poured concrete foundations at the existing house?
That's the existing house, yes.
Where in relation to that is where the?
Yeah, it'll be off the other side of the house.
Okay.
That should be in your package, I should have that. Because Dave said, do you want me to put it on there? And I said, well, it's against the education law. But you could put an X on the survey.
Oh, yeah, I see. Gotcha.
Oh,
I pulled this up first.
I can't read this, so that's why I couldn't see it. I can't see anything on it. Old eyes, old eyes. That's all and now the area that you're gonna put it, that you wanna put it in,
Yep.
are there trees or what kind?
I would say it's 50-50 because when we cleared for the house, right, some of that existing clearing is open and then there is an amount of trees, so it's probably half and half currently. But it does fit kind of like the flattest spot. In my mind, what makes the most sense for an ideal spot with, to keep the dirt work to a minimum and excavation costs, et cetera.
So other than just having to remove some trees, there really isn't much that you do into this.
No, not particularly. No.
So Mr. Wheeler, in the application, underneath, if this could be done in some other way, you know, the land topography, the wetlands on the property. Could you talk a bit more about that?
Sure, so the first step that I took when I had this idea was I brought my surveyor in. I know I know that in my mind, there is plenty of distance. I know how the state and federal wetlands that are protected on the property, I know how the state and the Army Corps of Engineers, I know how aggressively they defend, right? So that was the first step. I wanted to make certain that I wasn't going to encroach in the setbacks for the wetlands. So I brought my surveyor in and we walked it and he explained to me that whole procedure. So I think he said there's over double what is required for setbacks. So the wetlands really weren't an issue, but they are on the property, more towards the northern end of the property. So we do have that, and then the topography does fall away. There is, when I dug my hole for my house, there is some shale, as there is in a lot of areas around here. So there's some rocks. So in my mind, the flattest area, you know, to keep the dirt work to a minimum and cost to a minimum as well.
Yeah, great. Again, I want to thank the building department for another well-put-together application and applicant as well, working in coordination with the building department. But kind of like I explained to the first family that next month in February, we'll come back on the 27th. We'll hold a public hearing. Your neighbors within 300 feet of the project site will be notified of this proposal. And then they'll have the opportunity to come for it or against it.
Very good.
The zoning board members, after reviewing more thoroughly the application, or if they have any questions, we'll pose them to you at that time.
Okay.
You'll have the opportunity to answer those questions, to speak to the comments, if there are any public comments. And then we'll deliberate and act upon it, and should know by February.
Okay, very good. Understood.
Yeah, thank you very much. That'll be about 6:15.
6:15. Okay. Very good.
And then I'll ask you, so we'd like to visit the site, kind of get more
Sure.
knowledge about it, give permission.
Yeah, I have a phone number on there just because the dog sometimes is outside.
Sure.
You can call or text, but you're welcome anytime. The dog is friendly, but,
Mhm.
you know, if he's gonna wanna play,
Yeah, right.
so I can put him away.
Sure, I understand.
So, no problem.
Okay, all right, well, thank you, thanks for
All
coming
right,
out today.
thank you.
Thank you.
Get out of here.
Is there any other items of new business that we-
You don't have to hang around. You can leave.
Okay.
Any other
Here, we're gonna do
new items of business you'd like to bring up? I would make a motion to close tonight's meeting of the zoning board of appeals, remember second.
Second.
Second, thank you, John, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you again.
Safe home.
Thank you.
Oh, and
Careful.
good for you, right? No, putting off what you can do today by thinking about a pool in January.